Hey everybody, Brandon here from iDub Hockey, joined with Nick, who is the product manager of protective and head and face protection at CCM here at their headquarters in Montreal. We are here to discuss the JetSpeed protective line and get into the core of its DNA. So let's start off with that JetSpeed fit profile, and who did you guys really design the line for? What style of player?
Absolutely. So you really nailed it right there. So when we're talking about JetSpeed, it's really important to think that we're talking about a low profile player, right? So a player that's fast, that's agile, that really likes to move around on the ice. So the first example that comes to my mind is I'm thinking about Connor McDavid, right? You're thinking about a player that can stop on a dime, a player that can really accelerate. So the whole reason behind JetSpeed is our thoughts were, how do we create gear that really allows and enables the player to be more him, herself when they're on the ice? So when we're thinking about all these gears, the gear isn't disabling them, it's just allowing them to be more of their selves when they're on the ice.
So let's dive into the JetSpeed DNA.
Absolutely.
You have incredible mobility, protection, and now breathability this year. So let's start off with that breathability story and that new technology that you have introduced to the line.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really excited to bring in our new technology that's called aer-tec thermoregulation. And the whole idea about aer-tec thermoregulation, I think it comes from something that all hockey players can agree on, is when you're on the ice, you get really hot, right? All this heat that builds up game in and game out. So our great design and our great developing team, we're really trying to find ways of how do we really help players on the ice to really get that airflow in. And their great idea was thinking about aer-tec thermoregulation. So the idea behind aer-tec is really creating gaps, really creating space between you and the protection to make sure that we have that space for that airflow and all that breathability go through. So as we apply it in different products on our suspension system, on our shoulder pad, our suspension system on our gloves, our ventilation system on our hockey pan, all these products work together to make sure that our line is as breathable as it can be, all while maintaining an elite level of protection.
Oh, that's incredible. So it really helps regulate that body temperature, keeping them cool.
Absolutely. Because we've learned through our research and innovations that the cooler you can keep the body, the more increased performance that you can get on the ice. So the whole idea in an aer-tec is how to really regulate that body and make sure it keeps nice and level play so you can stay fresh when you're on the ice.
Now, mobility is a major key in what really helps that JetSpeed player stay as quick and agile on the rink as possible. So what are some of those key mobility areas that you're gonna find throughout the protection?
So when we talk mobility, I think the first word that comes to mind is lightweight, right? So when we're talking mobility, we need to give gear that really allows the player to be more of himself or herself when they're on the ice. So when we're talking about all our different pieces, we'll be talking about the exposed Zos foam on our shoulder pad. We'll be talking about our lightweight materials in our gloves. We're talking about all these great level of technologies and innovation that really help lower the weight of the actual gear and also make sure that you're comfortable inside, right? Because it's all great to make sure the gear is lightweight, but we also need to make sure that the player is comfortable inside that gear, and that is with the help of all of our exposed foams, our sublimated comfort liner. All these technologies really work together to make sure we create a nice lightweight and mobile product out there.
Now the third piece of the story is protection. You know, JetSpeed player is going to be quick and agile on the rink, but they're still going to take a hit and dish out one too. So what in terms of protection is going to benefit the player?
Absolutely. So earlier I was talking about lightweight protection. So when players hear lightweight, you're like, oh, what about the protection level? So when we're talking about our JetSpeed, we made it really important that although our gear is lightweight, we still maintain a great elite level of protection for all those players. Because as you mentioned, the faster you skate, the harder you're going to fall, the higher you're going to hit. So these players that love to move on the ice, we still need to protect them on the elite side. So when we talk about protection all across the line, we apply with a bunch of different ways. So when we're talking on the shoulder pad, we're talking about our ultra light shoulder caps that are really light and agile, but also have a great level, an elite level of protection. We're talking about our Zos foam also, that's exposed foam, that really does a great job of being mobile, all white, while maintaining a great level of protection. And another product that comes to mind is when we're talking shin guards, right? We're talking about our calf guard that's meant to block all those shots. We need to make sure that we have an elite level of protection, because as you mentioned, these top players that really like to move, they're playing on the PK, they're playing on the power play. So we got to make sure that they're covered all across the game, right?
That's right. Well, Nick, we just want to say thank you for having us
out.
My
pleasure, guys.
And running us through this incredible JetSpeed line.
Thank you for having me.
And for you at home, if you're looking to get your hands on any of the new JetSpeed protective pieces, you can head over to icewarehouse.com.
Thanks, guys.